Okay, Rams, if you are on this video, it is because you are trying to do a retest for the Unit 1 test. And the way this is going to work is you're going to go through each question here and watch each one to see what maybe mistakes that you made. And then you will get to redo the questions, okay? Because the test was online, it's really hard for me to be able, I don't have a way to give the actual test back. You did your work on your own paper, so maybe you saved it. I don't know. But what we'll do is let you go through and redo each question that I give you for a higher score, okay? And the new score will go in the gradebook for you, okay? All right. So use the number line below to determine which statements are true. And there is more than one true statement. Check all that apply. First thing you need to know for this problem is this symbol means less than. Remember, make that your L. Okay, and then to do greater than, this is your greater than symbol. Okay, that is the first thing to know. So let's look at it. Is -4 less than 2? It's farther to the left, so true. Is 2 less than 0? No, it's to the right, so it's greater than. Is 5 greater than -4? 5 is to the right of -4, so it is greater than. Is 0 greater than 4? 0 is, it's not a -4, it's just 4, so it must be false. Okay, is -4 greater than 5? No, it's less than. All right, so it was just those two answers there, okay? Unless there was a typo on this one, but because there's not a 4, maybe it was supposed to be -4. I don't know. But these are the two correct answers right now. Okay, number 2. What is the x coordinates of the point below? Remember, your ordered pair is made up of x, y. So your x coordinate tells you how far you go left or right from the origin. So if this is my origin, I went 1, 2, 3 spaces to the left. That is the x coordinate. Your y value, your y coordinate is a +1, but it doesn't say that. And if you gave the whole ordered pair, you only got 4 points. The actual answer, because you need to read carefully, is the x coordinate, and this is just like a star question we had a few years ago, and it was actually a griddable, okay? So make for sure you know the types of things and the wording here, x coordinates, okay? So the x coordinate was just a -3, that's all it is. Okay. A lot of people miss this, but because we didn't read. Which point represents the absolute value of -2? So basically, I want you to say, what is the absolute value of -2? And that just means how far is -2 from 0? It's 2 spaces, so the absolute value is 2. So which letter on here is located at 2? It's L, not R. And a lot of people chose R on this test. This one here says, which quadrant is the ordered pair 6, -2 located? So before we even get to the quadrant part, let's go through and label the quadrants before we even mess with that points, okay? Remember, quadrant 1 is up here where 1 is on a clock. Okay, and this is called a coordinate plane. So we're going to go around in a big C, right? So after 1 becomes a 2 over here. Then a 3 down here, and a 4 right here. Now, I'm going to say 6, -2. So I start at the origin. My 6 is positive, so I'm going 6 spaces in the positive direction. All the way over to here. My 2 is negative, so I'm going 2 spaces in the negative direction. 1, 2. This is 6, -2. What quadrant is that? Quadrant 4. Sometimes you'll even see these problems worded like this, but it will not have a picture. You're going to have to be able to draw. And you don't have to have all the coordinate plane. You can just do 1, 2, 3, 4. As long as you know they go in that order, you don't actually have to have a coordinate plane on here to answer that. Okay, this one, a lot of people did really well if you actually read it and tried to answer it. Which points are opposites? So I have a -1, a 1, a 3, and an 8. Remember, opposites are two numbers that are the same distance from 0. So if here's my 0, I need numbers that are on the opposite sides of 0. One is positive and one is negative, but the numbers look the same. They are the same distance from 0. So look at this. 1 and -1 are the same distance from 0. So it is A and D. Okay, next, explain what this sentence means. The absolute value of -7 is greater than the absolute value of -3. So really, if I'm just looking at my number line, here's a 0, here's -3 and -7. If I'm only looking at the numbers, -3 is actually larger because it is farther to the right. However, it says absolute value. Well, what is the absolute value of -7? It is 7 because it's 7 spaces from 0. What is the absolute value of -3? It's 3 because that number is 3 spaces from 0. So, when we say the absolute value is greater, we did this in a warm-up this week, it means it's farther from 0. 7 is greater than 3. 7 is farther from 0 on the number line. Okay, a greater absolute value means farther from 0. Okay. A coordinate grid is shown below. Which ordered pair describes a point that is 4 units to the left of the origin? So I'm going to go, here's my origin, I'm going to go left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 2 units below the y-axis. Oh, it should be below the x-axis. I'm so sorry. Okay, 2 units below. So 1, 2. So we're going left and down. -4, -2. Okay? All right. Will was comparing his friends' checking accounts. That's just rude, isn't it? Jim has $10. Sue has -$5. Julie has $4. And Henry has -$6. What does it mean if you have $? It means that you spent more than you had. Your total amount that you have is actually less than 0, okay? You still owe money. All right, we want these greatest to least. So I could put them on a number line, okay? The largest number, remember, is going to have to be positive. So if I look at the 2 positive numbers, this one and this one, what's the biggest? It's 10. What's the next biggest? 4. You cannot ignore those symbols. You have to pay attention. Say the positives are always larger than negatives, okay? Then when I get to negative, what is the biggest? -6 or -5? Well, and I could actually go to my number line here. If I look at -5 and -6, which one's farther to the right? -5. Oh, and then -6. That is your answer. Okay, last 2 questions here. George wrote an integer. Remember, we learned on Friday that could be a positive or a negative number. Okay, it's any of those numbers that we see on our number line. The opposite of his number is -53. Oh, that is a big clue. The opposite is -53. So what does that mean his number is? What is the opposite of -53? It's +53. That is your number. So now we want to know which of these is true. The integer is 53. Yes, that's true. The integer has an absolute value of -53. No, our absolute value is always positive. The integer is -53. No, because the opposite of it is -53. The integer has an absolute value of 53. Yes, because 53 is 53 spaces from 0. So it is sentence 1 and 4. Okay, last one. A lot of people struggled with this. Again, it's like the other one with the absolute value, okay? Which point represents the value of the absolute value of negative 1/2? Well, that means how far is negative 1/2 from 0? Here's my 0, and this is one space. It's actually half of a space away, correct? So the absolute value of negative 1/2 is just 1/2. So which number is plotted at 1/2? It's R. Okay, R is at 1/2. Remember, absolute value is going to be positive. So it's positive 1/2. So it's halfway between 0 and 1. All right, make for sure you have answered all of your questions and shown your work, okay? Have a great day, Rams.